Okay, now that's the word. That's the word. Texting, flirting, like that, kicking it, talking. We're not dating.
But back on Andy, when we were in the studio, you said that you and Scrappy was kicking it.
Okay, now that's the word. That's the word. Texting, flirting, like that, kicking it, talking. We're not dating.
But I told you, I said, I don't like getting involved with drama with my baby mama. Like, it's
Are you talking about Erica?
No, I'm talking about you.
Don't refer to me as your baby mama.
Whoa.
Don't do that.
What you mean?
Don't refer to me as
No, but she have my kids. No,
right.
I'm saying she have my kids. I'm not finna be in the middle of her and nobody. Like,
when Scrappy, and basically, he was talking about me to her. You blocked her after me and you start back being cool. So she want to know why you blocked her.
I say how y'all going. I was like, I'm not even a part of it.
But you know what, Scrap? I will tell you this. You're wrong because you was flirting with her for a very long time.
You said I was flirting with her?
Why was that wrong?
Show it.
Don't flirt with the don't flirt with the flirt. Don't flirt with the circle.
I just want everybody to know. I don't give a who Scrap flirts with, okay? He's free to flirt with whoever the he want to flirt with.
Once again, I never had a thing with Amy. Ain't nothing happened. A couple of likes, a couple of DMs, like talking about nothing is okay for a single man.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. A double-minded man is an unstable creature. And the fact that he's trying to downplay some bull, that's flirting. You done it already, bro. It's okay, Scrap.
I'm getting secondhand embarrassment from Amy. This is like the third man who's publicly denied being in any type of relationship with her. And I'm just like, girl, you could just stay on the low because clearly these guys, they don't want to go public with you. So like, here's the thing. So you were interested in him and he wasn't interested. Is that
what you think?
I don't know.
No, but I was interested in
And I never dated Amy.
We've never dated. Y'all hanging out on a date is not dating, guys.
How now, Amy, you're saying you never dated Scrappy when you've been saying you dated Scrappy?
Scrappy got the muscles. He big. He fine. He
Amy!
I'm single. He's single. Just saying. We've been talking on the phone. He's single. I'm single.
I know.
Scrappy already.
No, not him, but we've been on a couple dates.
With her phone firmly grasped in her hand, Bambi sat on the edge of her bed. The screen was illuminated with Amy Luciani's most recent Instagram post, which read, "Baby Scrappy on the way. God is good." Amy was glowing, with her hand resting on her tiny baby bump and Lil Scrappy standing next to her, his arm wrapped around her shoulders. Bambi's chest constricted, and she felt as though the air had been drawn out of the room. Voice trembling, her best friend Kendra came in the door with a bottle of wine and a bag of takeout, and I brought reinforcements. She dropped her phone onto the bed and buried her face in her hands as her mind raced with thoughts of betrayal, heartbreak, and the innumerable promises Scrappy had made to her over the years. How could he do this? How could he get someone else pregnant after everything they've been through? Together, we will overcome this obstacle. When she noticed Bambi's tear streak, she interrupted herself in the middle of her sentence. What was wrong? Unable to talk, Bambi simply gave Kendra her phone with the Instagram photo still shown. When Kendra saw the caption, her eyes widened. Oh hell no, Scrappy did not get this girl pregnant. Tell me this is some fake news. Please, Bambi, it's not phony. It's true that he is expecting a child with her after Bambi choked out her voice. Kendra sat down next to Bambi and put an arm around her shoulders, saying, "I'm so sorry, Bambi. After all the times he vowed that he was done with the side chicks and that he was establishing a family with her. I understand how hard you've been trying to work things out with him, but this is truly disrespectful, and you don't deserve it. We've been attending therapy to mend our relationship," and Bambi wiped away her tears, but they continued to flow. How am I going to compete with the baby, Kendra, after being married? How am I meant to get over this? Squeezing Bambi's hand, Kendra murmured, "You don't have to compete with anyone. You are his wife, Bambi, and you have supported him through all of the chaos. If he doesn't see your value, it could be time to let him leave." Bambi's head shook, her thoughts racing. "Kendra, I'm not sure whether I can. I have always loved him, but later that night, this feels like the last straw." Bambi sat by herself in the living room, the TV's glow casting shadows across the room, unable to concentrate on the show in front of her. Her thoughts kept returning to Scrappy and Amy, remembering how she had forgiven him and believed him when he said he was done with the drama, and that now there was a baby on the way, a baby that would forever tie him to Amy. She was startled out of her reverie by the sound of the front door opening. Tenacious. He began speaking cautiously, but she interrupted, holding up a hand, and I saw the post Scrappy. He halted when he saw her seated there, her face smeared with dry tears, and he walked in his typical swagger, a little subdued. I am aware of the baby Scrappy sighing and wiping his face, Bambi. Amy and I are not as simple as you may believe. It's complicated. Bambi stood up to confront him, laughing furiously. You got her pregnant, Scrappy. How complex is that? I didn't anticipate this happening, so it seems basic to me, Scrappy stated in his voice. Although I acknowledge that it was a mistake, I must now take charge because of the kid. You know how I feel about being a parent. Bambi narrowed her eyes, folded her arms, and asked, what about being a husband? Tenacious, how can we proceed when you're out here building families with other women? You keep stating that you want to make this work. Scrappy paused his slumping shoulders. Bambi is unknown to me. Even though I don't know everything, I know that I love you and I don't want to lose you as my wife. You say that, but every time I think we're making progress, you do something like this, and I can't keep doing this, Scrappy. Bambi shook her head, tears streaming down her cheeks. Scrappy reached for her, but she moved away to avoid his touch because she couldn't stand to be hurt any longer. Please, Bambi, don't. Ignore me. We've gone through worse. We can overcome this. The following day, Bambi decided to confront Amy because she couldn't stand by and watch this woman play the happy family with her husband. Her voice was shaking as she asked, "This feels like the worst. This feels like the end." When Amy opened the door, she looked surprised but not completely shocked to see Bambi standing there. Bambi, Amy stated, "What are you doing here? We need to discuss." She is crossing her arms. Amy sighed and moved aside to let Bambi in, saying, "I know this is messy, but it is what it is. Scrappy and I have a connection, and now we're having a baby. I'm not trying to hurt you, but I'm not going to apologize for living my life." Bambi's voice remained steady despite the, "You think this is some sort of game, but it's not. This is my life and my marriage, and you're destroying it." Bambi gazed with a look of incredulity on her face. Amy grinned, obviously having fun. The drama that night, Bambi sat down with Scrappy for what she knew would be their last conversation. "I can't do this anymore," she said firmly, realizing that perhaps your marriage wasn't as strong as you thought it was. She had heard enough and turned on her heel and left, her heart heavy, but she had made up her mind that she couldn't keep fighting for a man who obviously didn't value her or their marriage. "I've given you numerous opportunities, but this is excessive. I deserve better. Tenacious, I deserve someone who will value our marriage and me." With remorse in his eyes, Scrappy gazed at her. "We can fix this, Bambi. Please don't give up on us." Bambi shook her head and started crying. "No, Scrappy, we can't. Some things are simply broken. Beyond repair." Bambi felt a mixture of relief and grief as she left. She wasn't sure what lay ahead, but she was certain that she was finished with the lies, the drama, and finished using Lil Scrappy.